tonight. And I just like to take some time to acknowledge everyone for taking the initiative to tune in tonight. And we are blessed to spend a few minutes of our evening with you guys tonight. My name is Stef Cantu, and
I'm her handsome husband, Ray.
And Ray and I started coaching 5 years ago, really started off as a part-time hobby. And within 3 years, we've been able to grow it into a full-time passion, really. Full-time passion and career for the both of us. We are both full-time Beachbody coaches and are blessed to be partnered with an incredibly powerful team of coaches. You know, when Ray and I first started dating, I had began my first year as an elementary teacher. We are both actually Texas A&M graduates, and we're originally from Texas. And so I had started my career as a bilingual elementary teacher, and he had recently left his corporate job and was down to his last $500 in the bank.
Wow. That was such a surreal experience for me, because here I am, this college graduate. You know, granted, I was the first one in my family to get an education, but, you know, I had this image in my head that once I graduated, that was basically the only thing I needed to do before I became a billionaire. I don't know who sold me on that picture, but when I got out and realized that it wasn't the case, I started looking at my life and just started asking, like, what did I do wrong? You know, what happened that now I have, you know, I have fumes in my bank account.
And, you know, my mom would constantly ask me, Stephanie, ¿qué hace? You know, my mom only speaks Spanish, and so she's like, Stephanie, what does he do for work? What is he? Does he help out? And she was genuinely very concerned that I was being taken advantage of financially. So we moved in together after a few months, and at the time, we had to be very strategic about where each penny was going. If those of you familiar with Dave Ramsey, then you definitely know what I'm talking about. You know, 8 years of secondary education between us, and we had a combined debt of over $100,000. And as a matter of fact, one of the only pieces of furniture we had in our apartment at that time, aside from our bed, was an unhinged door being used as a desk.
Hey, that was one of my favorite desks of all time.
And actually, that desk is where Ray started building this opportunity.
Imagine that off of a desk that I took from a closet. You know, and then the funny thing is, we moved out here to San Diego recently, and I looked at my closet door, and I'm like, should I?
No.
Should I?
So for the next 3 years, I worked as a full-time teacher, and you know, we really hustled to grow this incredible opportunity we had been handed.
What happened? What happened, like, to actually get us to look at this opportunity? You know, the big question that I asked myself was, what if? What if? And we're going to be asking that question a few more times tonight, because it's a very powerful question. Right. You know, I remember when I was working, I went and visited my sister Erica in Austin, and she's a cosmetologist, a professional hairdresser, and I really envied her. You know, here she was. You know, we had jokes when she did graduate from high school, because we used to call her Kelly Bundy. You know, we didn't think that she was going to get very far, but she's actually done very, very well for herself. And at that time, I envied her. I envied her because she could take off whenever she wanted and go to that awesome concert that was playing that weekend in Austin, or she could reschedule her clients because it was a beautiful day and she wanted to go out on the lake. And I said, what if I had that life? What if I had that life? What would I do with it?
Right. And so Ray, right from the beginning, he started seeing it for what it could be. And for me, however, I was starting my career, and by no means did and honestly, I wasn't even interested in it.
No. I mean, we had pretty good careers.
Oh, those are my kiddos.
Yeah, Steph, she was one of the premier teachers in every school that she taught, and I was a highly recruited construction project manager. But there was something missing in our lives. We were sold on this idea that you can get an education and really have a lifestyle, have a lifestyle that you worked hard for, but that wasn't the case. It was almost like, it's hard for me to say this, but I feel like I got suckered. I feel like I got sucker punched. They told me, hey, you got a great job, it's 40 hours a week, but it turned up to be, almost 40 hours a day. I was working, nonstop around the clock. I remember one weekend, I went at it for like a month straight. And, the tan that I had worked on the weekend before was gone. I looked ghostly, I looked like I was a walking zombie.
And guys, I generally love my job, and I can tell you as a teacher, I felt overpaid every day of the job, and I could have done it for free. The more that I taught, the more that as much as I loved what I did, I didn't feel like I was in alignment with the things I valued, the people I valued the most, than being my family and time with Ray.
Yeah. So we got to a point where it would have been easy just to stick our head in the sand and say, everyone else is doing this. Why should we do anything different? It seems like we've got the respect of our peers because we have decent jobs, decent careers. Why do anything else? But then that question came up again. What if we did? What if we did walk down that road less traveled? What if we did buy into a company and a vision that was bigger than ourselves?
Right, which brings us to our next point, guys.
So we want to talk about 4 key things tonight. One is the obesity trends that are happening.
Right, and even before this, guys, you're on this call for really one of 3 reasons, and we really want to highlight that first. And one being, what, Steph, what, Ray, or what, Alex, what, Sarah, there's some gaps in my health. I'm looking for a solution. I'm looking for something that works for me, because I know that I'm just not feeling as good as I know I could. And you're here to find something that's going to allow you to close those gaps in health. And I want you to imagine, what would it feel like to be able to wake up every morning and feel energized, ready to go before your alarm goes off? What would it feel like to be able to play with your kids or go up that flight of stairs without gasping for air? And maybe you can do those things. Maybe it's just some mental clarity for you. But, perhaps that is why you're here tonight, to look for something that's going to help you with your health. Or 2, you're here to because you are in search of something to close your financial gaps, right? Or something, maybe it's help paying the bills. Maybe it's having a little extra spending money to take your kids on that trip they've been excited to go to, or maybe some financial gaps in I'm working 3 jobs, or I'm working 2 jobs, and I'm still not cutting it. Or 3, you're not really sure why you're here tonight. Maybe somebody invited you on the call and you said, yeah, sure, I'll do you the favor, I'll listen in. Or, just casually in a conversation, someone invited you and you're not really sure what it is, but to you, I want to give you an extra welcome tonight, because nothing happens just randomly. Everything has a purpose, and we're excited for all of you, whatever the reason you're here tonight, that you're joining us.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So we do have some points that we do want to cover, and those being the current obesity trends, our solution that we found with Beachbody, which has helped us and hundreds of thousands of others, the world-class partner in Beachbody, the company itself and where they're at and who they are, and then the opportunity, the opportunity that 5 years ago we asked, what if?
Right. And you know what, guys, despite the fact that we really had to pinch every penny, and despite the fact that we were on the verge of bankruptcy at one point, we somehow knew that we were going to be okay. And part of that was because as negative as we were on our finances, we had the opposite effect with our health. We were definitely at a very positive state with our health and our fitness.
That was really the only chance that I had of bagging you. It was my six-pack.
Did you really just say that? Let's tune that out.
All right, we're going to edit that out. Guys, we want to ask you, at the end of this call, if you're not 10 out of 10 on everything that we talk about, we want to ask you and encourage you to, at the very minimum, say yes to the products that we expose you to, because they are going to take your life to a whole nother level. Even if you pride yourself in being fit, there's so much more that could happen by introducing you to some of our world-class nutritional products.
Right. So what we're going to talk to you about today is really the opportunity that really changed things for us financially and in regards to time freedom as well. And we're also going to talk to you about the products and the solution that we found in our health and fitness and that we just could not get enough of and keep to ourselves.
So when I said yes to this opportunity, it wasn't hard for me to really come to the conclusion that there was help wanted. There was help that was needed. You can look all around you and see that this statistic that 69% of people in North America are considered overweight or obese, and you can see that that is true. You can also see that with a need, there is also an opportunity to fill it, and the fitness industry has filled that, has tried to play that gap. The gyms alone are worth over $75 billion. So I asked myself, what if this solution does work and it helped people better than the gyms or better than the current solutions out there? What if I was a part of it? How would it change my life? So what did I see in Beachbody? Well, they had the total package. For a brief time in my life, I was a personal trainer in a very reputable gym. And I would look around at what they had to offer and almost laugh inside because it was pathetic. I'll be honest. When you go to a gym, what you were basically doing is renting the equipment, which is fine. If you know about fitness, if you spend some time looking into fitness, which is fine if you have a solid grasp on your nutrition. And it's fine if you didn't need help, if you didn't need peer support. If all you wanted to do was rent some equipment, then a gym could be a viable option.
And for me, guys, just personally, I was very intimidated of the gym. I had been overweight the grand majority of my life by that time, and I was very insecure, very self-conscious, and I was. I would be too embarrassed I'd kind of sit back and see what people are doing in the machines. But I was in the search for something that worked for years, and all through college. It wasn't the college, what is it, college 15? It was the college 30 for me, and just trying to really balance myself out in my fitness. And our university had a great gym out there, but I didn't have a plan, and it definitely was, personally, it wasn't the solution for me. But it was when I came across Beachbody, or and the products is what really changed the whole game for me.
Yeah, it was nuts. I remember, when we first got started, I was working as a personal trainer half time, and I had clients that were using the Beachbody Solution, and my clients that were using the Beachbody Solution paid a fraction of the price and were getting 10 times the results. So when I ultimately left the gym, it was because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't see people being sold on high expectations and being short every time. Short every time.
Short end.
Mm-hmm. So Beachbody, they're such a brilliant company. They are such a brilliant company because they have fitness for everybody. Whether you have 5 pounds to lose or you have 50 pounds to lose, there is a solution. And there are plenty of before and after testimonials to back that up.
Or weight to put on.
Weight to put on. We have programs that are strictly cardio. We have programs that are all about bulking up. And then we have programs that are cross-training, that they're meant for the person who is looking for something to supplement, their regimen. Like, you remember when we were doing all that triathlon training, but we still knew that we needed to lift weights somehow. P90X3 was perfect for us.
Right, and speaking of triathlons, that was definitely something that I did not ever imagine that I'd be doing in my life. So these programs definitely opened a whole doorway for us and really empowered us in our fitness and opened the door to a lot more, just really courage and to be able to do other things as well.
Yeah, I remember when I first started, I loved them because I was able to do them behind closed doors. It was okay for me to make that face like my body was about to just die and get that extra push-up because I knew it was making me stronger.
Or try to look swole in the mirror. Ray actually started off with a P90X, and when we started dating, really, he asked me, he's like, "Hey, Steph, there's this new program that's coming out. I don't really know much about it, but let's give it a try." And within 60 days, I dropped 25, almost 30 pounds.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. True story. True story. But we don't stop there. We don't just stop with fitness because everybody knows that nutrition is a big part of what we do as well. And that's what I really love about this company, and I think that it separates us from everyone else out there, is we put the same amount of thought and the same amount of spirit into the quality of our products. And I remember when Shakeology, which is our number one meal replacement, or our number one nutritional product, it's a superfood shake. When it first came out, I was super skeptical, which is funny though, because when I went to GNC and the guy behind the counter recommended something, I never questioned it. I just said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. You work here. But here's what I told myself. I said, if Beachbody has these amazing programs like P90X and Insanity, and they've put a lot of money and a lot of thought and their entire reputation behind these programs, why in the world would they put out anything less than their nutritional products? And 100 bags later, I found out that I wasn't disappointed, and I made the right choice in going to Beachbody products, and not only for the fitness, but also with their nutrition.
Right. Whether it is, we talked a little bit more about earlier in regards to maybe in your health, all you need is mental clarity, right? Maybe you just feel like you're not getting enough sleep at night. Well, our products aren't just all fitness based. It's definitely, we have cleansers and ways to really optimize your health from the inside out. If you heard of P90X or Insanity, you know how intense it is in regards to fitness. Well, we have that same, intensity in regards to just health and nutritional products.
Yes. And everything that we promote, guys, it's all about the lifestyle change. It's a lifestyle change. These programs aren't 1 week and you're done, 2 weeks and you're done, 3 weeks and you're done. I mean, what you learn in a program like the 21-day fix meal prepping system or the 21-day Beachbody Ultimate Reset detoxing and cleansing, you'll use for the rest of your life.
Right. This is really has become a lifestyle for not just Ray and I, but for our families as well, right? It's so cute that my mom makes her Shakeology every morning and she doesn't miss it. And my sister and my nephew, he'll drink his Shakeology. But something that I'm very, very passionate about is Shakeology, because of those benefits that it has done for my family. I'm first generation Mexican American, and my family, we grew up on beans, rice, and whatever we had available to us. And so initially this concept of drinking a shake was very we were very hesitant about it. Like, wow, I love food. I can get whatever I need. I can eat broccoli or eat a salad and that's enough. And plus I love food. Why would I want to replace it with a shake? And, so, Ray he said, hey, let's just give it a try. And my goodness. So my first teaching job was in a kindergarten class, and we were doing Insanity. I was teaching full time, and I'd get home and just want to kick my feet up, and Ray would be excited to see me after work, and I'd be like, just give me about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I need to unwind. I need to catch my breath for a little bit. And the more that I started really integrating Shakeology on a daily basis, there were times where I was driving home from work and I was just like almost foolishly smiling. I could not keep myself from smiling because of how great I felt. And I didn't connect that. I automatically with Shakeology. Oh yes, it's Shakeology, right? As a matter of fact, I didn't really even take time to research it, but I sat down and I looked at the ingredients, and we got to meet the co-creator of Shakeology. And I promise you, I have not met another person as passionate and as determined as this lady. She loves what she does, and she will not compromise. The very first person, you see the plethora of powerful ingredients that are in Shakeology, and there's a lot of heart and soul that's being poured into these products to find what's best for this huge obesity epidemic and nutrient deficiency that we have, even here in the United States, right? We are overfed and undernourished. My goodness. And so they are really on this big mission to nourish people on the cleanest, most powerful way possible. The very first person that I wanted to introduce and that I introduced Shakeology to was my mom and then my sister. Right? If I was feeling great, if I had learned about these great benefits, you better believe that the first people I wanted to talk to about it was my mom and my sister. And that's how it started for me. And, my mom, she cleans houses for a living. She has a beginning signs of rheumatoid arthritis, and she has a lot of pains in her legs. And I begged her to take Shakeology. She wasn't having any of that, but the doctor told her that she had high cholesterol, and that's what opened the door for me. 30 days later, I said, I'm going in. I'm going to ask her, Mom, please give Shakeology a try. She did. 30 days later, she said, Stephanie, I feel about 5 years younger. That was only in 30 days of one daily integration of Shakeology. And I said, this is it. I see it. It's not a weight loss shake. It's not a protein shake. It's genuine, just dense nutrition that tops any other vitamin that you can get over the counter.
And, the crazy thing is, you mentioned, the plethora of ingredients. Steph and I, we have lived in some of the healthiest cities in the nation, being Austin, Texas, and now here in San Diego. And we were surrounded by juice bars. And the other day, we're out at the beach, and we had a night of drinking. So you know how you feel afterwards. And I kind of felt like my body just needed something. And because we've taken Shakeology for so long, we know how it feels. As soon as that nutrition is absorbed by our body. We just kind of feel like a plant that's been watered for the first time after a long drought. And we pulled out my phone and went onto the Google Maps to look for a juice bar. And we found about 3 or 4 juice bars, but we didn't want just juice. Like, we didn't want just like,
sugar and water.
Yeah, we didn't want sugar and water. We wanted the greens. We wanted the super foods. We wanted, the super roots. We wanted all that because we were familiar with it, and we know the difference, when we just have a juice versus our, a Shakeology.
Right. And we can go on and on really about Shakeology, but just to kind of paint the picture in nutrition, Shakeology is about equivalent to 5 plates of just dense salad, and minus the ranch, of course, and the cheese. No cheese.
So the other really big part about our solution, this really brings it all together, is our peer support. And what I mean by this is we stay connected 24/7. I would see people that would go into the gym and they would buy an hour from a personal trainer. And depending on who they actually bought, the price would vary. I would see some people spend an enormous amount of money. Like they could probably buy a car for the amount of money that they spent on personal training. And you would leave and you're all on your own again. You paid for an hour's worth of support. With Beachbody, we stay connected. We stay connected on Facebook. We stay connected on through email. We stay connected on video chats. And we constantly help each other, constantly congratulate each other. And some people kind of call this a cult. and if a cult means brotherhood, if a cult means sisterhood, if a cult means family, then yeah, I'm part of a cult because and I wouldn't change a thing because I love it. I love our Beachbody family.
Right. And not just our family with our team directly, but just Beachbody in general. Like Ray and I, we traveled. We were highly mobile this past year. And regardless of whatever city we lived in at the time, there was an automatic connection with other coaches that were in the area. And it's really, it's a family, just community, very family oriented and
it's nuts. Now when we travel, we look forward to our big gatherings, like Summit that's coming up.
I'm so excited.
We're going to have 25,000 other Beachbody coaches. And one of those days on Saturday morning, July 20th, we're going to be covering the entire downtown of Nashville doing a super workout at 7 o'clock in the morning. How awesome is that?
Right. And these people, they really become family.
So what happens when you combine all of those elements?
Right. You have the nutrition, you have the fitness, you have the support. It creates results.
Crazy results that you possibly never imagined that you could have, especially in the short amount of time that it takes to get there, relatively speaking.
It's interesting as we were doing Insanity for the very first time, when we had just started our relationship, we were about halfway in, and Ray asked me, like, hey, do you think you're going to go for a 6-pack? And I laughed. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go for a 6-pack. But it was because I still didn't really believe that I could. A part of me, wanted it, but I didn't believe I could. And he asked me again after those 60 days, heck yes, I'm going for that 6-pack. And it really empowers you.
It's nuts, guys. Since we began, when we started, there's no way in heck I would have ever thought that I would have been on a photo shoot. I would have never gone and had my picture taken professionally. Since then, we've done about 2 or 3 photo shoots, and there's something that happens. There's something that happens in your head, in your heart, in your spirit, with your confidence. When you realize that you're a different person, when you realize that the time that you spent working on yourself to improve yourself has refined yourself, and your life changes. We mentioned where our life was before Beachbody. the things that we wouldn't do. Steph mentioned that she never imagined herself running a triathlon. Well, after Beachbody, our life is all about recreational fitness. Not only do we do triathlons, but we go out on the water and kayak and mountain bike, surf. Well, I wouldn't say we surf. We're trying to surf.
And we're new to California, so we're slowly integrating.
Yeah, we look forward to those challenges now. True story, last year we spent a summer in Alaska, and the thing that was at the top of our list, after serving in our mission, which is a different story, but the thing that was at the top of our list was climbing to the highest point in Alaska. And we look forward to it. We wanted to take that picture at the top. It's funny. It's so funny how when you go through these workouts, at first, you kind of avoid the pain, you avoid the hurt, you avoid the sweat and the tears. But after a while, you start loving it. You start getting that natural high that you hear people talk about, and you just want to do it nonstop.
And actually, speaking of Alaska, I think one of the most fulfilling and rewarding feelings, well, yes, it was a goal for us to be able to climb the highest peak, but I think personally for both of us, the most fulfilling really moment in our time in Alaska was when Ray's mom came to visit us. And, we talk about, right, you might start going into this for yourself, right? You're trying to close those health and fitness gaps for yourself. But the impact that that you create within your family, that is something that there's no price to that, guys. Because his mom came over and we hiked up pretty, I would say it was a pretty difficult hike. It was about 3-4 hours. And his mom, she was pretty much leading the whole time. She had the energy, she had the agility, the stamina to be able to do that with us. And that was just so incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, she's done about 3 Beachbody programs and drinks Shakeology every day.
Yeah. So
you're right. That was super important for me. My mom's almost 65 years old. The rest of my family isn't going out and doing things like she is. So I'm proud that I was able to step up to the plate and be the leader in my family and stick in it and stick with it long enough that they followed along.
Right.
So let's get back to that question. What if? What if you decided to order a challenge pack today? What if you decided to press play today? How would your life be different? How would your life be different in 3 weeks, once you complete the 21-day fix? And how would your life be different in 90 days once you've completed P90X3?
Right. And I want you to imagine your health as a whole. And I want you to think of it, I want you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Right, your whole health and how you're feeling, how your energy is, how your mental agility is, how your stamina is, just everything as a whole. Where would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being Steph, call the ambulance. Ray, call the ambulance. I need some help. And 10 being I feel absolutely incredible. I feel younger now than I did 10 years ago. Where would you rate it? And I want you to imagine what it would feel like to be at that 10. I want you to imagine what it would feel like to wake up and feel so alert and ready to just start your day off smiling because of how great you're probably like, oh, I'll never be a morning person, but hey, what would that be if at this time 1 week from now you are on your way to reaching that 10?
It's a very powerful question. Here's another question. Why would you consider joining us in this venture as business partners? One of the big reasons is because of the world-class partnership with Beachbody. A few stats just to share with you. 14% of Americans are currently receiving food assistance right now. We all know that U.S. unemployment is at an all-time high. Rising healthcare costs are stressing people out by the day, as well as the skyrocketing of debt.
Right. So guys, maybe you are one and you're simply looking for a solution right now to close some gaps in your health. But again, we want to ask you to just keep an open mind and saying, what if you decided to join us on our team?
What if? Who would you be joining? To help alleviate these problems. Maybe you feel them, but maybe somebody that feels them even more, and they've been talking about a way out. Who knows? I know. We started off this presentation sharing the fact that I had less than $300 in my bank account, but I also lost 2 houses to foreclosure. I also got handed 2 lawsuits. So to say that I was stressed out, is an understatement. So what did I do? Well, I looked into Beachbody. Who were they? Where were they at? What are they about? Who's leading the team? And I loved everything that I read. And Beachbody started out in 1998 as a startup company in Santa Monica, California. They had this idea of putting together workout programs on VHS and put people through them. This concept of at-home boot camps. And it worked. It took off. The original program was called Power 90. And it worked so well that people wanted more. And it turned into Power 90 Extreme, which some of us aren't familiar with, but it's long for P90X, the program that really changed the game. Well, in 2007, a few years after P90X came out, the company realized that there was a need for support, that P90X was only good to someone if it was on TV. If someone was pressing play instead of it just collecting dust. So they had this concept of Team Beachbody, a community of people who had gone through the program and could help someone else get through it as well.
Right. So just kind of give a recap. So Beachbody is a company that creates these products, and Team Beachbody is what was created because people were getting incredible results from these products, and they were going online, they were going on these message boards and saying, here are my results, look at that. And people were being motivated and encouraged, and they were asking them questions. What did you do? What do you suggest? And they really started providing this message board of support. And so the creator said, you know what? Well, Carl said, you know what? I think that we're on to something here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's when Team Beachbody was created, the support portion of it.
The support portion, and what's allowed us, to build this lifestyle that we live now and that we're sharing with you this evening. So since the network got started in 2007, it has contributed over $1 billion in revenue through the course. This last year, in 2014, this is an old graph, as you can see, they contributed $475 million worth of the annual revenue for Beachbody. That's a very impressive number. With that, every year, more and more people are realizing how lucrative of an opportunity this can be. They've seen Beachbody set themselves apart as the leader in health and fitness. They've seen countless programs come out year after year that have been the talk of the town, that every news caster is talking about. More and more bloggers are talking about, and they say, hey, you know what? I want a piece of the pie. According to these numbers, according to these graphs, the only direction that Beachbody and the Beachbody opportunity is going is up. So naturally you're asking, well, what is a coach? What is a coach? Well, let's talk about what a coach isn't. A coach isn't a fitness or nutrition expert. Not at all. And a coach isn't already at their fitness and nutrition goals. Not at all. And a coach isn't an experienced.
You can hear.
Okay, can everybody hear us now? All right, hopefully everybody can hear us now. Okay, perfect. So when I first looked at this coaching opportunity, I had a list of things that I was qualified for, and when I started thinking about like my best coaches, I played high school football, I played middle school football. I started thinking about who they were and what they did for me. Like how did they help me develop into the person the player that I was. And I realized that as a coach, the biggest thing was to share with people how they can change their lives and achieve their goals. For me to be a product of the product, to lead from the front, and to constantly improve and develop myself so I had the grounds to challenge others to do the same. And that was something that I felt like I could do. I had gone through this journey through P90X, and day by day I felt myself getting better. It took a while. It took 3 weeks for me to look in the mirror and say, hey, you know what, I do feel a change. But once I did feel it, I wanted to keep going. I was addicted to it. I wanted to continuously challenge myself, and as I saw myself getting better in one aspect of my life, I had this urge to get better in other areas of my life.
Right. So what is a coach, right? And so we talked about the product, and this is the typical life cycle of what happens in the life of a prospective coach, and is somebody that tries the products, right? Whether it be Shakeology, whether it be the Ultimate Reset, whatever it is, you try the products, you start getting results, and you start feeling amazing. You start feeling great, not just
physical results, but that, like Ray was saying, the mental development and the change that starts building in your life. And people notice. Something is, I know if you didn't get a haircut, did you do something different? It's your energy and the positivity that you start reflecting. And you know that the negative workroom that you walk into, that grayness, you go in there and you bring light into the rooms because of how great you are feeling, and people start asking you. And so then that's where this notion of coaching begins, where you say, hey, I'm doing this thing called Shakeology, or I'm doing this thing called 21 Day Fix, and I think it's working. Mm-hmm. And you start sharing. It's simply just sharing what you're doing, and whether you're doing it intentionally or not, you're motivating others to, and your light is giving them hope in their darkness, and they're saying, maybe if she can do it, if he can do it, I can too.
Yeah. And it reminds me of a story that I read about a guy who was severely depressed. He got to the point where he wanted to end his life. He didn't see any other outs. He didn't see any other options. So he went to his psychiatrist, and this was in his head. He said, this is going to be the last time. He said, this is the last time I'm going to go and get help. I'm going to get any counsel. So the psychiatrist, kind of played along and said, you know what? Here's what I want you to do. I said, you have a big insurance policy, so we have to kind of make this look like it was everyday life. So what I want you to do is to find the biggest hill in your neighborhood and run up it as fast as you can. Okay, and you'll have a heart attack, and your life will be over, and you'll get exactly what you want. So he took the doctor's advice and went and ran up that hill as hard as he could and felt like his heart was going to explode. But he didn't die. He got addicted. He got so much joy out of pushing himself physically that he did it over and over and over again. And miraculously, he lost a few pounds, but his energy level and his happiness went through the roofs. And he was a completely changed man. So that's really the concept of being a coach, is we help people. We help change lives. So what are some of the benefits? Well, for one, you get to set your own hours. If you have all the time in the day, then you can choose to work in the morning or the evening or both. If you have a full-time job and you want to do this part-time, then you can decide, which lunch or breakfast break you want to use, to work your business.
Right. And guys, both Ray and I, we do this full-time. However, this is really as small or as big as you want to make it. We have people that are okay just being a coach part-time because they get that fulfillment from helping people. And then we have people that, they clock in and out of work and they just feel like it's not fulfilling. They feel like they have a different calling in their hearts, and they go for full-time Beachbody coaching.
Kind of what happened with you. Remember, you would come home really late at night from working, and you would put in an hour and a half per day, and for some reason you had a jolt of energy, and every time you got home, after you had your 15 minutes, of course, to settle down.
Guys, for me, it was really, there was times where I would get home at 10 p.m., after work, and I was a teacher, and I would I would stay as long as the custodial staff was there, because otherwise I'd be locked in. And, but I reached a point where I felt this calling in my heart to do something different. And the more that I'd get home and I'd put in an hour or put in 30 minutes in coaching and responding to messages, and the more that I did it, the more I fell in love with it. And I reached a point where I was I see the negativity around me. I feel it, and I said, you know what? I can select. I can choose. I have this opportunity in my hands to be surrounded with people that are positive. You know, people that are forward thinking, and people that have huge hearts and are in it to help others. And you know, this is an opportunity to really invest in people's lives in an incredible way. And you know, I'm no longer teaching. However, a lot of the people that I work with, a lot of the women that I work with are teachers. And I say, you know, if I get to help that teacher that is low in energy, that is feeling kind of a little crummy every day, just you know, because of the lack of sleep, because whatever it is, if I can help shine some light into her health, and what is that going to do to those kids in that classroom? What is that going to do to her own kids? What is that going to do in her marriage? And you know, that's the impact that coaches have. It's a ripple effect.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about this business, you know, which you can turn into a full-time career, is that you can build this online or in person. You can send out a message or write a Facebook post in the morning, go to your full-time job, and then come back in the evening and read the impact that it had on someone's life. And you just do it over and over with some consistency, and you have a full-fledged business running.
Right, and you never know who's watching, guys. Like you might feel like your progress hasn't been so great, or you're not doing as great as other people, but I'll tell you what, there is someone always watching, and you are inspiring somebody. And just the notion alone that you joined us here tonight says that you know, you have the potential to be that person, if not are already doing it and have no idea yet.
True. So what if you do stay consistent with it? You know, what if you do say, I want to be that person that helps other people? What are some of the rewards that you can expect? Well, outside of the commissions, which are really great, you also have opportunity for bonuses and trips and recognition, and you know, this reward is an intangible one, but I feel like it's a life-changing one, is the learning and personal development that you experience.
Can I just go back to that previous slide? So, you know, we talked about how low on funds we were when we first started dating. You know, Ray he saw the opportunity. He was really working hard to make this happen. And, you know, because of these rewards, which I personally was very hesitant about at first. I said, you know, I was in it to help people, quote unquote. And he earned us a trip to the Bahamas. And yeah, we could not have afforded it otherwise. And that was actually this bottom left picture, if you're joining us online, is where we got engaged.
How about that? Talk about a happy ending to a tough start. Guys, when you join us in this mission to help end the trend of obesity, you are walking hand in hand with us. I mean, unless you want to run, because then we'll run. Okay, we will run with you. We will definitely run with you. We are going to give you the best of the best that we have learned along the way. And I'm talking training and tools. I'm talking, you know, strong communication line, and I'm talking about social media techniques that are proven and guaranteed to help you leverage everything that we have to offer. We have a coach call every week. We have trainings that run every month. We have events lined up, you know, for team building and leadership training. And guys, we are a family. It's so funny to see how much time we spend together. As we get older, they say you start, losing your friends and all you have is your family, but that's not the case with us. We get new friends every week. We have more people being added to our family, and it allows us to really be ourselves and surround ourselves with people that are going to lift us up. It's a beautiful thing.
Right. So, aside from the support that and the training that you'll get from the company itself, like we work hard as a team. We work hard. We have, I don't think I've never been exposed to as many hardworking and good-hearted people as I have with the coaches within our team. These guys are awesome. They are awesome. Like Ray said, we had our team call just last night, and we're very casual about it, and we get to hear the impact that they're having right now with in their lives just by helping people.
It's awesome. Sometimes I feel like a proud dad. I don't know what that feels like because we don't have any kids. and then other times I feel like a brother and a best friend and a cousin. It's just so weird. It's just so much emotion wrapped all into one. So let's cover how we get paid very quickly. I don't want to confuse anybody with this. If you have any questions about this, we can definitely answer them. I just want to run through this really quick. So the first way that we get paid is through challenge pack bonuses and commissions. You can expect to make anywhere from $40 to $105 for every challenge pack that you sell. We also have a catalog of nutritional supplements and equipment that get you 25% commission. Recently, we launched our Beachbody On Demand, which is a subscription-based, what we call the Netflix of fitness, and that pays out 40% commission.
Right, and these are things from making recommendations, right? We go back to the fact that you found something that works and you recommend it to people. You try an awesome new workout, and you're, oh my goodness, this is the best one yet. And you start telling people, just you get a percentage from it, just as if you were to go to the movie or go to that great restaurant and you tell your friends, you have to check this place out. You're not going to get 25% commission for recommending your friends there. But however, as a coach, you making that recommendation and introducing your friends to something that genuinely works and is incredible, then you'll earn yourself a commission.
Can you imagine if that did happen? You know how many people I've told about the new Entourage movie coming out?
Yeah.
You should give me a cut.
Yeah, at least 100 today.
Yeah, at least. So how does this work out, guys? Well, let's just take a look at like your first 3 months of business, because one of the first things that we want you to do is to make your money back. We want you to it's to make your money back. So what this means is that if you spent $160 to get started with us today, what that would mean is that you would need to recommend a challenge pack and get some of your friends and family enrolled into a challenge pack 3 times. Once that's happened, then you've recouped your money.
Right, and he used the word need, and it's in order to earn that money back, then it would take 3 people to help.
Yeah. The second way that we get paid is through our team cycle bonuses, and this is when you build a team. When you have an organization, and all it takes is 2 people. 2 people is considered a team, and what happens is you get paid cycle bonuses. This is really what happens when someone decides to go full-time on this and build a business. Because as you can see in this graph, you can make up to $12,000 per week in bonuses based off of your ability to develop a team.
Right, and this is where most people get confused, but I think to really simplify it is like, hey, commit to really helping 2 people. And then as those people start getting results, then you help them get 2 people. And it creates that ripple effect of people helping people. And that's how your team is created.
Mm-hmm. The third way that we get paid is through a matching bonus. And this is, again, once you've built a team up, you will get a bonus based off of your ability to help people rise up in leadership ranks. So you'll get 10%, up to 10% bonus off of coaches that you've enrolled bonuses. So that's really awesome. Lastly, you have what's called a Star Diamond bonus, and this is for leadership ranks. We have 4 different bonus pools. Once you've achieved a 2-star bonus, a 2-star diamond, 5-star diamond, 10-star diamond, and 15-star diamond.
No, I watched a short clip of a girl. I think I want to say she was about 22, a recent graduate from college, and she worked hard her last semester in college, and thanks to one of these bonuses that she earned, she was able to pay the majority of her college loans off. How awesome is that?
I'm not sure where the bonuses are at right now, but the first 15-star diamond that I saw, their bonus check was for $115,000.
Yeah.
That's just a bonus, guys. So Steph covered how it works, but we're going to address this again. It's basically 3 things.
Boils down to 3 things.
3 things. You use the product.
You share what works for you.
And then you identify business partners to bring on board the team.
People helping people.
What is the cost? Well, we're not going to ask you to spend any more than you would spend on your own products. You would be coming on board with a challenge pack, which is designed to save you money. When you do that, the $39.95 coach enrollment fee is waived. You get the fitness program or nutrition program that you've selected, your first shipment of Shakeology Home Direct, and a trial month of Beachbody On Demand. And that covers you for the first month. After that, you will have a $15.95 monthly overhead. And this is going to cover all of the high-quality media promotions, your 3 personal websites, your online office tools, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right, and you can think of this $15.95 in 2 ways, guys. Really, you can think of it. Maybe you're saying, you know what? Yeah, but I'm not really sure this coach thing is for me. Let's just say you enrolled as a coach simply for a discount, because as a coach you get 25% discount on your products. So let's just paint the picture for Shakeology. You'll pay $99 versus $140 as a customer. So as a coach, you'll pay $99. Yeah, I see that it's a good deal. So you can think of that $15.95 as kind of like the club membership, like if you would a Sam's Club or a Costco, or you can really see it as, and you know what, this $15.95 is giving me the opportunity to be able to recommend these products that are really changing my life and have the potential to change their lives with them. And Ray and I, we owned a business for a gym for a little bit, and we were working and busting butt in order to just pay the overhead, and it was a lot of money.
That was nuts. I mean, we were paying close to $2,000 in overhead. So if we made $2,000, it was just going for us to last another month. And
we didn't get that time back.
Mm-hmm.
We had to be there and provide it. But anyways, guys, this $15.95 really is nothing in comparison. Just the discount alone covers that fee.
So as we close this out, we want you to think about 3 things. 1, what can becoming a coach do for me? How will it change my lifestyle? What if it did work and I were able to make this a full-time career? 2, who can I help? Who do I know that has been spinning the wheel like a hamster, getting nowhere, looking for a solution? Who do I know who is stressed by running out of money at the end of the month? Who do I know that would be a great coach? And 3, what are my own goals and dreams? Are they still alive? Or have I ducked my head in the sand saying that life is good enough right now? If that is you, we encourage you to take a look, to consider everything that we presented to you today, and to say yes. To say, yes, I want to be a coach. Yes, I want to try this out. Yes, I want to help people.
I'm ready for that 10. I'm ready for that 10 in my health. Or maybe you're thinking, you know what, I'm ready for that 10 in my finances.
So say yes, guys. Say yes. Even if it's, I don't know how this is all going to work, I just know that it will. Because that's what we said yes to. And our life has completely changed because of it. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are humbled by this opportunity to share what has provided fulfillment for us, and look forward to you joining our team. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good night.